In this lesson, we're going to help you with some practical next steps for marriage mentors. You know, we're almost done with the official marriage mentor training, and hopefully you've learned a lot of great stuff here and you're excited about it, maybe a little nervous, but you're excited about moving forward and helping out at your church, in your small group, whatever, helping out some other couples and helping make a lasting impact on their marriage. So how do you move forward? What are some practical things now to move forward? Well, here's the first thing you need to know. You should formalize your role as a marriage mentor for another couple. It's really important that you make this clear so you can move forward with confidence in your relationship with another couple. Now, if you're getting trained with your pastors, listen, it's important for you to give some leadership equity to your marriage mentors. Whenever they get trained and whenever you feel like they're ready to be released, you make it clear. Pastors, if you're connecting a marriage mentor to another couple, you need to tell that other couple, listen, I want to connect you with a marriage mentor. Don't just say, I want to connect you with another couple. You need to set up that relationship so that when that couple does meet with the marriage mentor, it is seen as a formal thing, a lot like a marriage counselor, not the same thing, but a lot like that, so that the marriage mentor really can, give homework, really give direction and be clear about all that stuff. So it's important to formalize your role as a marriage mentor in another couple's relationship. That'll really help you and give you that leadership equity that you need to really move forward and start mentoring another couple. Here's the next thing. And this is for when you're ready to start meeting with that couple. Send them the link to the marriage topic page and challenge both the husband and the wife to complete box A on the guide. Now, I know that sounds really specific, but that'll be really helpful for you to know. That first meeting is probably the one you'll be most nervous about. It's the one that'll set the tone for your mentoring relationship with that couple over those months. So, start with clarity. Send email, text, whatever. Text them that link to that topic page and be clear with them. Say, download that guide and come ready with box A filled out. So that'll tell you a couple things. First of all, it'll tell you whatever they pick, whatever video and article they pick from that list on the marriage page. It'll tell you what they care most about. There's a lot of articles and videos there for them to choose, so it'll tell you what they feel like their problem is or what they want to talk about. That's helpful information for you. But it'll also tell you how interested they are in working for their marriage. If husband shows up and he hasn't done his homework, well, right off the bat, it'll give you an opportunity right off the bat to say, listen, you have to work harder. I'm not going to work harder than you, just like we heard in the last lesson. So it'll really help give some structure. It'll help you to be formal and formalize your relationship with them, your role in their life. And when you get to box B, and use some of those box B questions just to do some preliminary conversation with them, all of that stuff will be really helpful. But don't expect in your very first mentoring meeting, don't expect to get deep into any issues. That topic page will help you to just sort of introduce each other and introduce the concepts and formalize your role with them. And then you'll be ready for the next step. We really recommend that you start with the marriage series and use it as a framework for your mentoring. Now, you might think after that first meeting that they've got some big issues and big problems, and that very well might be true. But starting with the marriage series, taking a few weeks to say, listen, let's just begin with this marriage series and help them go through that. That'll give you some time. That'll give you 3 weeks to lay the groundwork for the rest of your mentoring of them, because it'll go through those 3 basic things that'll give you that framework: love, trust, and communication. And those 3 basic things will simplify your job if they understand that as a framework. And it'll also help them to move forward. Now, again, they might be saying, no, we want to talk about this and this and this. And I think it's really important for you. It'll help you out so much. It'll make your job so much easier if you can convince them. It really is worth our time to start by doing the marriage series together. Give them a chance to, give you a chance to learn more about what their needs are. Take some good notes and learn to listen over those 3 weeks without feeling like you have to get into great detail on any one of those things. But it'll also give them a chance to learn the system, learn the tools, do their homework, and give you a chance to challenge them every week. Hey, don't forget, do your homework. Don't forget, do your homework. And all of that will be right there in the marriage series. And once you've gone through that series, you'll be ready for that next phase in your marriage mentoring. And that is to use other topics and series as necessary from the online library. So by now, you've been meeting with them for probably about a month. If you took a day for that first topic page on marriage, and then let's say three more weeks for the marriage series, maybe a little bit longer than that. But now you'll be ready really to sort of get to what else in the library do you need to use to talk with them. Maybe start again on the topic of sex and sexuality, or talk about addiction, or some of those more specific marriage issues as you look more at some of those couples series and topics. All of that stuff it's all designed the same way to help you to help someone else to really get victory in each one of those areas. And don't forget that you are not a professional counselor. We've already talked about that. So if you feel like at any point, and maybe your mentor or your pastor can help you with this, and there's some resources also in the lesson resources for today, if you feel like, man, this seems like it is over my head, and there's some deep, deep issues here, be ready to bring in a pastor or a professional counselor. Remember, that's not your job to help them with some of those deeper issues. Your job is to mentor them, sort of get them moving in the right direction, and that's really your goal. And when you feel like they are ready to move forward without you, be sure to connect them to a small group. You shouldn't expect to actively mentor them for years and years and years. That's really not the commitment you're making to them. A marriage counselor, and I know you're not a counselor, but a marriage counselor doesn't meet for years and years and years with a couple. A marriage mentor, it's the same thing. You mentor them. It might be months. It might even be years. But your relationship eventually will change with them. And one of your jobs then to transition them to the next step is to connect them with a small group if they're not already in one, connect them with other couples that they can continue to move forward with. This will help you to be able to free up your schedule to mentor other couples who need your help, but it'll also help them to not be sort of in an unhealthy place and sort of too dependent on you as a couple. So Jesus himself, he only mentored his disciples for 3 years and then he left. And we should remember that as well, marriage mentors, that we're going to help them out. We want to help them to have a healthy marriage. We're going to help them by talking with them, and then we want to help them to move forward without us. And so connect them to a small group that'll help you to do that. So go ahead and use that workbook now and talk about these next steps for marriage mentors.